The announcement of Shrek 5, the success of DreamWorks, and the teaser of Puss in Boots 3. All this and more in today's movie preview. Shrek fans have been waiting for a new movie for 13 years, and now it seems that great news has appeared the other day. Shrek 5 is coming soon and is already in development at DreamWorks Studios. This was reported by a well-known insider, Daniel Richtman. He also stated that the authors made the decision to continue Shrek after the success of Puss in Boots sequel, which exceeded $250 million in fees. For an animated film for $90 million, this is a super result, because the project paid off almost 3 times. And the ending scene hints at the announcement of the 5th Shrek, where Puss steals a ship and goes to the kingdom of far, far away, where he is going to meet old friends. This is of course about Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey. Richtman also said that in Shrek 5, the characters will be voiced by the same actors as the previous parts. So the official announcement and teaser is only a matter of time. Most likely, the premiere will take place in 2025, because in March next year we are waiting for Kung Fu Panda 4. It's also worth noting that throughout its history, DreamWorks Animation Studios has been constantly swaying from side to side. For one excellent movie, there are 2 average or completely unsatisfactory ones. And if at the beginning of its existence it was not very noticeable, because bad projects were only unpleasant accidents, then recently those same unsuccessful films compete on equal terms with good ones in terms of quantity. So when DreamWorks announced the sequel to Puss in Boots, I personally became wary, remembering what happened to Shrek after the second part. But when the first trailer came out and when I saw the movie itself, I just shut up. Puss in Boots 2: The Last Wish is one of the best animated films I've ever seen. The project looks great and as a standalone work, so it is not necessary to watch the previous parts to understand everything. Plans for a Puss in Boots sequel appeared as early as November 2012. Then the executive producer Guillermo del Toro shared his plans to move the main character to a very exotic place. He also stated that several drafts of the script were completed. According to lead actor Antonio Banderas, work on the sequel began in 2014. Also in a recent interview, by the way, he stated that if the box office is satisfied with DreamWorks, then we will inevitably get both Shrek 5 and Puss in Boots 3. The same studios, The Bad Guys and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse by Sony, were inspirations for the Last Wish's animation style. Instead of using more detailed scenes, authors focused on a painterly design to make the movie look like a fairy tale world come to life. And we have to admit that DreamWorks did a great job, and the fans already want a threequel. If you take into account the Antonio Banderas' interview, and that The Last Wish grossed more than $200 million in theaters on a budget of 90, this means that this franchise is very important and interesting to the audience. The guys from DreamWorks are not stupid, so with a huge degree of probability Shrek 5 and Puss in Boots 3 will be released in the near future. The only question is how they will look. The animation of new projects is very different. It seems to me that the studio will continue to modernize the new style, and subsequent movies about Shrek and Puss in Boots will be almost the same as The Last Wish. We do not need any realism. I want everything to be as fabulous and colorful as possible. DreamWorks needs to keep everything looking like book illustrations come to life, and I think they're doing a great job of that. Thus, Shrek 5 and Puss in Boots 3 will turn into a breathtaking sight that will not let our eyes rest for a second from this animated masterpiece. It will also be a real breath of fresh air for the franchise. Animation is animation, but a bad script can ruin everything. The story itself plays a big role, which turned out to be simply amazing in The Last Wish. Nevertheless, the sequel gave a chance to enjoy the visual sophistication, laugh, mourn and remember childhood. And I will look forward to the continuation of Shrek and Puss in Boots. And I personally believe that DreamWorks will not let us down and will create something amazing again. And that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, put likes and subscribe so as not to miss the latest videos about upcoming movies. See you soon on Ray Channel.